Imagine an ancient civilization, thousands of years before Tesla or Edison, harnessing a power we consider modern. What if the pyramids weren't just tombs, but giant power plants? Forget everything you learned in history class about ancient Egypt. What if the very notion of primitive technology is a historical lie? This video will expose the mind-bending theories and compelling evidence that point to ancient Egyptians wielding a forgotten form of electricity, allowing them to achieve wonders that still defy modern explanation. Before we dive too far, there's a curious mystery worth keeping in mind. Deep within the Hathor Temple at Dendera lies a carving that some believe shows a giant light bulb. Could it be that thousands of years before Edison, the Egyptians already had light? We'll return to this strange clue later, but for now, just let that thought linger. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not just a monument, it's a masterpiece of precision. Standing for over 4,500 years, its alignment to true north is so accurate that even today's engineers marvel at how it could have been achieved without advanced surveying equipment. The blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons, are fitted so precisely that a human hair cannot pass between them. Historians tell us that ropes, copper chisels, and ramps were enough. But many researchers can't help but ask, was there something more? Could the Great Pyramid itself have been more than just a tomb? Some theorists suggest it may have been designed as a colossal energy machine, a structure harnessing Earth's natural forces. Inside the pyramid's core are shafts, chambers, and passages whose purposes are still debated. Some see them as mere symbolic architectural flourishes. Others believe they might have been components of a lost energy system, perhaps channeling water or natural resonances into usable power. It's a provocative claim, one that casts the pyramid not as a static monument, but as a machine. And if that sounds too far-fetched, remember, this is just the beginning. Now let's return to that strange clue we mentioned earlier, the mysterious Dendera Light. Deep within the Hathor Temple at Dendera, relief carvings show what appear to be giant bulb-like objects. In them, a snake coils inside what looks eerily similar to a filament, emerging from a lotus-shaped base. These are connected to lines resembling cables, leading to figures holding them up as if they were technicians demonstrating a device. To those who believe in the ancient electricity theory, this carving isn't just art, it's a blueprint. Alternative researchers argue that this relief shows a form of electrical lamp powered by some lost source of energy. They point out how the bulb shape, the filament serpent, and the connecting cables look astonishingly similar to components of modern electrical devices. Could it be a coincidence? Mainstream archaeologists dismiss the theory, insisting the relief depicts mythological scenes involving Egyptian gods and the lotus flower as a symbol of creation. Yet the resemblance is hard to ignore. Could ancient Egypt have held the secret of illumination long before Edison lit up New York? But the Dendera Light isn't the only clue. Let's talk about the so-called Baghdad battery, discovered in Iraq and dated to around 2,000 years ago. This clay jar contained a copper cylinder and an iron rod. When filled with an acidic liquid like vinegar, it could produce a small electrical charge. Many historians dismiss it as a coincidence, or claim it was used for electroplating. But others argue it's proof that ancient civilizations were experimenting with electricity. If Mesopotamia had it, could Egypt too? Then there are the metals. The Egyptians were masters of copper and gold, both excellent conductors of electricity. Some artifacts show unusual wear patterns, as though they were exposed to electrical currents. Were these simply decorative objects, or the remains of tools powered by forgotten technology? The possibility is tantalizing. Imagine priests lighting underground chambers with simple, low-voltage lamps powered by rudimentary circuits, avoiding the smoke of torches that would have blackened the walls. It's speculative, but it fits into a puzzle that traditional history struggles to explain. Now here's where things get even stranger. Ancient Egyptian legends speak of sound and vibration being used to move massive stones. Could they have mastered acoustic levitation? Scientists today have shown that powerful sound waves can indeed move small particles, even levitating droplets of water. What if the Egyptians applied such principles at an unimaginable scale? Imagine teams of priests and workers chanting or using instruments to create resonant frequencies that made multi-ton blocks easier to lift and maneuver. It sounds like science fiction, but some records suggest it may have been science fact. Consider this. Granite and diorite, the materials used in temples and statues, are so hard that even modern diamond-tipped tools struggle to cut them with precision. Yet we find evidence of ancient drill holes, saw marks, and perfectly smooth surfaces that defy explanation. Were these the products of primitive copper chisels, or something far more advanced? Could the Egyptians have combined mechanical tools with sonic or electrical energy, enhancing their abilities in ways we are only beginning to understand? Some researchers go further, suggesting that the pyramids were not only generators of power, but also resonant structures designed to interact with Earth itself. Their internal chambers and corridors could have amplified natural vibrations from underground water flow or seismic activity, turning the pyramid into a kind of geomechanical oscillator. In simpler terms, the pyramid could have been designed to hum with the Earth's frequency, converting vibration into energy. Modern science has found that the Great Pyramid's internal design does resonate at certain frequencies. Was that by chance or by design? Adding to the mystery is the evidence of advanced machining techniques on ancient artifacts. In museums today, you can find bowls and vases carved from diorite, one of the hardest stones on Earth, with walls so thin and symmetrical that even modern lathes would struggle to replicate them. Drill cores discovered at Giza show spiral grooves consistent with high-speed drilling, not the slow abrasion of hand tools. If we dismiss the possibility of advanced technology, we are left with a puzzle. How could such precision have been achieved thousands of years ago with primitive tools? And let's not forget the legends of the ancient world. Stories from Egypt, Mesopotamia, and even across the Atlantic and South America describe the use of sound, light, and mysterious forces to move massive stones or create sacred spaces. Could these myths be echoes of a shared ancient knowledge, one that was lost to time but remembered in fragments by different cultures? If so, then Egypt's electricity might not have been an isolated discovery, but part of a larger global tradition of advanced science. Skeptics argue that all these theories stretch imagination too far. They say human ingenuity, combined with massive labor forces and simple tools, can explain everything. But ask yourself, if it was only manpower and copper chisels, why do so many mysteries remain unresolved? Why do we keep finding anomalies that don't fit the standard story? Why do we sense that history, as taught, is incomplete? Before I continue, if you're enjoying this journey through the untold stories of ancient tech, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Invention Flex. It helps me bring you more captivating stories every week. Back to the story. Now, let's revisit that riddle from the start. If the Dendera Light truly represents an ancient electrical device, it would rewrite history as we know it. If the pyramids were more than tombs, if they were machines, it would suggest an entirely different understanding of civilization's capabilities. And if sound or resonance was used to move stones, it means the Egyptians harnessed forces of nature that we are only rediscovering with modern science. So, what do we make of all this? Are we glimpsing the remnants of a lost scientific tradition? Or are we simply projecting our modern ideas onto ancient symbols? The suspense lies in the unknown. Perhaps the truth is waiting, hidden in the sands, ready to rewrite history once again. What we can say for certain is this: the story of ancient Egypt is not finished. Every discovery, every theory, whether accepted or dismissed, reminds us that the past is full of mysteries. The pyramids still stand, the carvings still whisper their secrets, and the artifacts still challenge our understanding. Maybe, just maybe, the Egyptians were tapping into a form of power we have yet to fully comprehend. And so, the next time you see the glowing lights of a modern city, remember, thousands of years ago, in the desert sands of Egypt, there may have been another kind of light. One that has long since faded but continues to spark our imagination. Perhaps it is not a question of whether the ancients had electricity, but how much of their brilliance we have forgotten. The truth, tantalizing and elusive, may still lie waiting in the shadows of the pyramids, daring us to uncover it. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to Invention Flex and check out the next recommended video waiting for you here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.